been about a month since I filmed the last one of these, and it feels weird to be back here in front of the camera one more time talking about another movie, because I haven't done it in a month. I mean, since then, there's been Christmas, there's been New Year's Eve, there's been the odd Stranger Things finale, there's been so much in the first couple of weeks of January, and now I'm back to talking about Marvel movies again. So, just wild to me that I'm here, and hoping to continue. But before we get into Thor, which is wild that we're here already, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. I'm pretty close to 100 subs, and that's really important to me, even though it's a pretty small number. So do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let me know what you think about Thor down below before I let you know what I think about it. So I wasn't exactly ecstatic to get to this movie. Thor is a character that I liked growing up, but I think like a lot of people didn't fall in love with him until Ragnarok. And I think a big part of that is just because he feels almost too larger than life. He almost feels just too much. And I just never really connected with him on a character level. I mean, the last time I tried to watch this movie was right before Thor Love and Thunder came out, and that didn't really do too much for Thor as a character. But when I tried to watch that in 2022, which is crazy that that was almost 4 years ago, I didn't get very far. I got like 20 minutes in and I was bored and realized that for me at that point in time, that movie was not it. It was just not for me. So I wasn't excited to go watch this again. I knew I was gonna like Thor and I was excited to see Loki again, but I really just didn't care very much. And to my surprise, I kind of fell in love with it. The human characters, which I know people don't really care too much for that aspect of this film, I found lovable and very of the time, very of 2011, which was just great. All of these movies are like little time capsules. But I fell in love, and even like the Asgard stuff, I felt that these characters who are meant to be gods and above us and all powerful were very flawed. And for 16-year-old me, when I tried to watch this, that didn't really work. I just was bored by it because I knew what these characters turned into later down the road. But now, as someone who has seen what they turn into, knows that, but still loves that, and is going through this universe one more time in chronological order before the, I guess, end of it all, I loved it. I really felt connected to Thor and what he was going through, and I mean, at the beginning of the movie, he's just kind of annoying like Tony is in Iron Man. You learn to love him, you watch him grow, it's fantastic. And you almost root for Loki more than you root for Thor. Like, I adore Loki so much. I completely understand why Tom Hiddleston gets all the rave and why everyone loves Loki as a character. I always loved Loki, but I never loved Loki. And I think that I'm going to fall in love with him here, which is just wild because I've seen all of this. I know all of this, but I'm getting so many different things from all of these characters that I've never gotten before, which is why I was excited to do this. And it's great to see that keep happening as the movies go on. I'm getting new things from these films to this day, which is important and shows a level of growth in me and maturity in me, which is wild. It feels like childhood is catching up with me, but also truly over, which is just insane to think about. But one of my favorite things that Marvel does with its characters is to see them grow over a span of multiple movies. These characters are so flawed, but they grow just enough so that by the end of the movie, they're able to get the job done. And then the next movie comes around and they haven't grown a ton, or they've grown a lot off screen and it doesn't work super well, but they haven't grown a ton. And you continue to see them grow in their next film, in their next film, and their next film, and their next film, until they're dead or their story finishes. I think the best performance in this film is easily Tom Hiddleston. He, as Loki, is just perfect. Tom Hiddleston is a generational talent, and I'm just so happy to see how far he's gone from this being a basic unknown to one of the biggest stars on the planet. This is what Marvel used to do. They used to do this for people. They would get someone unknown and that person would have immense talent and they would grow. And I still think that happens a bit today, but not to this scale. And the same can be said about Chris Hemsworth. Like, he was not anybody and now he is Chris Hemsworth. Like, people know him. Everyone knows who he is. It's just incredible to see. But Loki and Thor are just parts of this film, and they've been talked about so much by every single person, and I almost feel like I don't have too much more to add about them. They're just great. They're fun, they're engaging, and they have great arcs. As for the other Asgardians, Heimdall looks his best in this film. I love the full helmeted look. He's so regal, and so is all of the Warriors 3 and Lady Sif. They look perfect. They look like they're just from the comics, but also a good mixture of 2011 costuming, but also of Asgardian regal wear. Like, it's perfect what they look like, and I'm really happy with them. And they don't change them super crazily down the road, but they also don't have bigger roles down the road. I was honestly surprised by how big their role was in this movie. I completely forgot that they are the ones who fight the Destroyer near the end of the film. I forgot how much they were involved just throughout. They're major parts of this movie, and I wonder if they are for Thor the Dark World too, because I barely remember that film. I just remember in Ragnarok we just kind of get stuck with Korg and Meek for most of it, which is fine. They're fun, but those three and Sif don't have much to do, which I think is kind of the flaw on Ragnarok's side. But we're not here to talk about Ragnarok. We're not there yet. We've got a little bit ways to go. We're here to talk about Thor. Okay, I'm locked back in. Anthony Hopkins is an amazing actor. I feel like there are moments in this film where he completely phones it in, and then 20 seconds later, he comes back as the greatest talent living today. It's insane to me. He's so great, and then just a couple of moments, but that's enough. He's great. He's great. I definitely can tell I barely remember this movie because large parts of the film I haven't really seen for 8 to 10 years probably, since I showed my sister all of these movies before Infinity War came out. Oh, I feel so old. So yeah, I haven't seen much of any of this in super duper long. So like I said, the Warriors 3 and Sif fighting the Destroyer and having these elegant, I guess, conversations with Thor felt like new content to me. Like, it didn't feel like I have ever seen this before. But one thing I did remember was how much I adore Loki's progression and descent into total madness here. It's perfect. They do it perfectly. Loki, surprise, surprise, is going to be number one on our list of villains for this first phase. For up to here, I guess I should say. He is going to be number one. In fact, let's just do that right now. For our villain ranking, Loki is number one. He beats all of these other guys out, especially Whiplash. He can keep staying at the bottom. But Loki is just phenomenal. Tom Hiddleston's performance is great. The writing is excellent. I quite literally no complaints about Loki, so he's number one. One other thing about Loki is I think it's really funny when Thor and Loki are fighting on the Rainbow Bridge. There's a moment where Loki goes flying and his helmet just kind of whoop, all like just gone. It's goofy, but it's not like goofy enough to where it stood out. But it stood out for me, so I can't say that. But it's goofy enough to where I don't think it stood out for everyone. But I saw it and was like, where is that going? I don't know. That's dumb. But also around this part, after watching Thor and Loki like chase each other down the Rainbow Bridge, Odin just appears. Like, they had to fly and or be on a horse, and Odin is just like, I'm here now at the end. So I don't know how he got there after being asleep for who knows how long, but he just appears, which I think is funny. Outside of those kind of goofy things, there's a couple of things in this movie that don't fully make sense to me. Like, Thor grabs Jane's notebook, but he didn't see them take all of her stuff and doesn't really know that is hers, I guess. So I don't know why he would think to just grab the notebook when he's leaving the SHIELD base and give it to her. Like, it makes sense story-wise for him to get that for her in their progression, but it doesn't make sense as to why he knows to get that for her, if that makes sense. So, I don't know, it just didn't fully work for me, but that's okay. I also got completely jump scared by Hawkeye in this movie. Zero recollection of him being in this. And he's there for like 2 minutes. He's super unmemorable. And I understand like getting the audience to know him before Avengers, but I feel like you also just didn't need to do that whatsoever. I also always think it's really funny when a hero saves the day and they have to go somewhere and they decide to kiss the girl. Like, it's very climactic and it makes sense for the film itself, but Heimdall is just like holding open the Bifrost for like 2 minutes as he has this conversation with Jane and then kisses her. And I know Heimdall's seeing all of this, so I'm guessing he's just there, just like, okay, let's let's keep it moving, like, come on. Also, I'm totally counting the Bifrost as a skybeam, so add that to the tally. It counts. 100,000% it counts as a skybeam. I mean, not only with the Bifrost, but all over the film with Thor's lightning. Like, there's a ton to add to the tally, but I'll just do one. I'll just do one. Minimum one, maybe two. I'll decide when I edit which one I want to do, but one, maybe two, just to be safe. Just to get our tally up there and keep going, because they will continue to happen. I really, really adore the juxtaposition of Earth and Asgard in this film. The royalty of Asgard rings true, mainly due to Kenneth Branagh's direction. I think that that's a big aspect of why it works so well. However, with Kenneth Branagh's directing and camera work and all of it, we kind of have an issue with this movie. There is about 1,000 Dutch tilts, Dutch angles in this movie, and it is, whew, completely takes you out every single time. It is rough. They happen for no reason. Like, normally it would make sense for some of these to be here. But then it's like every other shot is just boop. Why? Why? It's a style, I get it, but it's a style that just does not work. So let's leave that one on the back burner for this time. Like, these are supposed to be used to evoke unease, and it's just used constantly throughout. So am I supposed to feel uneasy throughout the entire movie? No! So I don't know why it's always happening. Especially when we're on Earth. It's like a rom-com. And that works for some people and doesn't work for some. It was fine for me. I don't really have a preference of if I dislike it or like it. It was just fine. But the Dutch angles are just always there. Always! Why? Kenneth Branagh is a great director and a phenomenal actor, but I don't think what he did in this film is going to get him on our council. So that council continues to stay barren, unfortunately. It just is what it is. As for actors, you best bet we are putting some people on here. Of course, Chris Hemsworth has to be on there, and even more so, Tom Hiddleston has to go on there for Loki. They are just too good, two prime examples. They can't not be on there. I wouldn't be surprised if they stay there for the rest of the MCU as we go through this. So the composer for this one is Patrick Doyle. He did like Goblet of Fire. He's worked with Branagh on a bunch of other stuff. I know he did Murder on the Orient Express, which actually has a pretty good score. This is not bad. I just don't think it's, again, anything super remarkable MCU-wise going forward. And I don't think what Doyle does in the MCU going forward also is super memorable. So I'm not going to throw him on our composers list for now. That might change, but I don't see it happening. Okay, for our 3 segments of the score, I'm gonna start with the prologue. It's very emotional. It gets you ready for the action. Like, you feel the tension rise with the prologue. It's very entertaining. It's very good. It feels very regal, like I keep saying. So it works. That's gonna be number 1 is our prologue. Number 2 is going to be To Jotunheim. I think that this works well for the same reason the first one works well. It gets you excited to see what's about to go down and to see them travel through the Bifrost. So I'm going to give number 2 to Jotunheim. And lastly, everybody loves a good fight, so I'm going to give the final third one to Frost Giant Battle. I know all of these are kind of in the first act, but they are strong moments in the film and strong moments of the score. So good times. Listen to all 3 of those. I think this might end up being my least favorite score of Phase 1, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm not ranking those because that feels weird to do. I love it all anyway, so. As for the ranking, I am surprising myself and going to throw this one right underneath Iron Man. I feel like it doesn't have as much style as the Incredible Hulk, but the character growth and connectivity is way more impactful, so it just barely squeezes above it. Are you feeling a little bit of unease? I felt like I had to do this outro at a Dutch angle just to honor this film. And what better way to honor this film but to do it as a Dutch angle? So here you are. Here is your Dutch angle. This is just like watching the first Thor movie. Are you loving it? Are you loving it? No, you shouldn't be loving it. Imagine if the entirety of the video was like this. It would suck. You'd feel weird. Like, this is odd. Why did they do this? Anyway, I'll move on. It's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna forget about it in 2 weeks anyway. But do me a favor, hit that like button. Let me know what you guys thought about the video down below. Do me a favor, subscribe like I said earlier. I'm just trying to build something here, and 100 subs is not far away, and then after that, hopefully 500. So we'll see what happens. Share this video around. Let me know what you guys think about these, what else you'd like to see from me for this. This is an experiment, and I just want to know what you guys are thinking, and I would love to talk with you guys. So join the Discord server that's in my bio, and follow me on Instagram as well. I post a bunch of stuff there, but I'd love to talk to you in the Discord server, so do me a favor and join that, and come join a fun community who talks about pop culture and movies itself, and just Lego, everything. We just talk about the most random stuff, and it's a good time. So I'd love to see you guys there so you guys can chat with me. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time for Captain America, the First Avenger, one that I've been oddly anticipating. But I'll let you guys know what I think in the next one. Take care.